Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to embroider on the hen quilts. But first we're going to do a practice sheet so you can learn how to get your zigzag correct before you actually get onto the project you want to keep. Alright, so let's get started. This is my practice sheet. All I did was put a round circle on it. This represents the hen head because I wanted to have some different tight and loose areas, and then I just put this on there just to make a straight line. Nothing's perfect. It's not going to be anything when I get done. This is strictly for practice. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to show you the embroidery part. If you need to know anything else before this, let me know and I will make a video on that. I'm going to try to keep this short and in one part. First off, what I have to do is I have to change my foot because I need to use this embroidered foot. You'll have an embroidered foot that comes with your machine, and you want to change it out to that because we're going to go ahead and we're going to start embroidering on here. If you need to drop your feed dogs or if you need to cover them up, depending on your machine, go ahead and do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice some different stitches. Now, right now for my practice, just to begin with here, I'm starting with regular thread because I need to know that it works just with my regular thread before I change it out to an embroidery thread, which is what I'm going to use on my hens. So the very first thing is I drop my feed dog. My machine will do it automatically for me. If yours doesn't, drop it however it works. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do zigzag on this edge right here. The only reason that this white fabric is there is so that you can see these little blue ones here. Okay? And I'm using white, which is a contrast to this so that you can see it. If you don't want to see it, then you want to use the same color that this is. And to begin with, we're going to put the needle down because you want to bring up your bottom thread, which is your bobbin thread, so that you don't make a nest underneath there. So I pull on this. Whoops, it did not come up. All right, let's try it again. There we go. Okay. And use your tweezers or whatever you have. There you go. Alrighty. And then you can go back down in there, and I'm going to go up and down a couple spots just to lock it in place. Now, I'm going to choose my zigzag stitch. I'm going to put my needle up. And I'm going to make them as tight as I can. So, I'm going to try to take my length down to just about nothing. The lower you make it, the better and the tighter it is. And we're going to try that for starters. And let's see, I'm going to start out with a 5.0 width. So it should just go back and forth. Alright, so that is too big. Let me see if you can even see it. See how big that width is? That's too much. I want to go a little bit smaller. This is why we're practicing. Right, I turned it down to a 3. And that looks a lot better. Now, I'm going to take it out. It looks okay. But what I'm going to do is I have a piece of paper over here, and I'm going to put it underneath it to see if it helps. Because this is actually 2 pieces of fabric on the left and 2 on the right. But now I'm going to come down to 1 on the side here. So let me see if this is going to change it any. And I got to do the same thing. I got to bring that thread up again. I believe that's going to the left. Okay, I'm going to lock it into place. Okay, and then we start going. Oh, my bobbin thread is almost empty. I guess I should have I should have looked at that before I got... All right, let's just take it out. Here's the reason for all that practice and I was talking to you about. Now, I went ahead and I started back a little bit, as you can see, so that when it goes in, it's going over the top of something that's already done. There we go, to lock it back in place. And I am slowly turning this a little bit as I go. And I've got my foot down. And see how I went back over that spot? It doesn't hurt if you gotta go backwards for a minute like this. Alright, let's take a look at it with the paper now. I think I kind of like it with that. It's a little bit smoother. And the paper's going to rip off if you saw my last video. Alright, so now let's say that I want to do a different stitch altogether. Now mine, if I don't want to do the satin stitch, then I need to change my foot because this is strictly free motion. So I can use a different foot to use a different stitch. And I have a whole bunch of variety of stitches. So let me change out my foot. And you use it based on what you have in the way of your stitches. Some of the machines will have cams, which is what the machine downstairs has, and so therefore you can have a different kind of a stitch. And all the machines don't have the same kind of stitches. So you need to find out what, this is where you're going to find out what kind of stitches you have so that you know which ones you want to use for this project. Foot right here is the J foot, and that's what it's telling me to use. And I've selected a quilting applique stitch. And it starts out with the length pretty small and the width pretty small. So I'm going to add to my, I'm going to decrease my length. But I'm going to add to my, let's go to 2 for the length, just to see how far it goes. Alright, so now I'm going to start right on the edge of, let me get a, so I'm starting on the edge of the body is what I'm calling this red to start this. And this time around, because my foot is up, I've lifted my feed dogs up, I don't need to be pulling my thread up. All I'm going to do is lock it into place here. Okay, let's see what it's going to do now. And I'm going to get a different foot on here. Hold on one second. These are the 2 feet that I have a choice on. This one here, or this one here. Oh, I think I have 3 feet. Hold on one second. I thought I had one that looked like this, but it was metal with the open area. I'm afraid I won't be able to see it with this one. There it is. I used it for something else. Try the metal one first. And I need to put this piece here on here. Okay. And then we're going to go put it right down that same spot it came out of. Alright. Move the camera around a little bit more and hopefully I don't bump it. I want you to be able to see this. Right in here. It should come right down along this line right here. And then you just go really slow so that you can go around the corner here. You can always stop and rotate your fabric. And if I feel like I need it to be a little bit smaller, then all I got to do is decrease on my length. let's see, that was at a 2. Let's go down to a 1.4. I might even want that smaller. Let's see here. Okay, here's a 1.0. And then you want to write this down, because if you don't, you'll get to going along, and when you have to stop, you get interrupted, you come back, and then you can't remember what your foot was set on. Your length or your width, for that matter. Because I don't think anybody's going to sit and do every single one of these blocks all within a day. Alright, so let's take that out a minute, and I'm going to show you. So you can see the difference in the length for the distance between the little, where it went inside and grabbed the fabric. So it started out here a lot bigger and further away, and then I just decreased it. I kind of like it when it's close like this. And I think that's what I'm going to do, is these here. So let's go around the cheeks. And let's use a different stitch altogether. So let me see here. Alright, this is called a feather stitch. So we're going to leave it at the size it is to begin with. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's way too big for that. So I don't like that one at all. So let's see. Now this stem stitch might look good on there. Let's see what the width. That's almost like a zigzag on my machine. I'm going to put it up to 3, but let's take that out. Let's go over here. Okay. I might be better off starting this on a straight. Okay, that's got too much length. I don't think this one, no, let's see here. It's almost like a zigzag, but it's at an angle. But I don't like it because it looks like it's ragged. It would look like it would be better on a straight stitch. Let me go over here to something straight. There we go. Okay, I've got it on the wrong side. It needs to go that way. There we go. So see how it's kind of going up and down? I'll show you here when it comes. Now that would be all right on something straight. Okay, so that would be good straight because that's a nice teeny weeny one. But I really like this, and I don't like it around there, so I'll probably use a satin stitch around there. So let me go ahead and get the project over here, and I'm going to change my thread out. Alrighty, so I'm going to start on the F in the word feed for the bag here. And I'm going to lock it into place. Okay, and I did do this on my scrap fabric first to get it lined up for the length and everything. I'm just using my regular thread on this. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick up my needle And I'm going to move over to the right a little bit so that when it goes down, because you're going to watch these corners here. There we go. And just take your time. See, I'm not going very fast at all. And now I actually need to go over a little bit to the left, so I'm going to pull this out and move it over to the left a little bit. There we go. And I did put a piece of typing paper underneath here, in case you're wondering, for stability. It'll tear off when I'm done. It doesn't stay on there. That's starting to bother me now. I'll have to go back over that. Let's get one more time. There we go. And now I need to lock this into place, so I'm going to use a straight stitch because I'm at the end of it anyway. And that's just coming along the line that I used before. Whoops, see, I went too far on that. Let me see here. So I can just... Okay, that's it. We'll just follow it along. Now, every time that I go to another color, for example, I'm going to try to find a color that matches between these two. Otherwise, I'm going to stay with a lighter color, like a cream color, because I don't want to... if you want to use something really contrasting, you could actually use black all the way around, but I wanted this to blend in. If I can't find something, I could even use a purple that would look pretty nice. So I'm just going to continue with this kind of stitch, and then when it comes to the eyes, I may just probably be doing a plain old straight stitch when I switch out my foot, like I was when I was showing you the satin stitch, and do just a plain one all the way around it. So I'm going to continue with this, and then when I get finished with it, I'll show it to you as I do each one of them. And then if you got any questions, just ask me. Well, that's it for that little piece right there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will be showing you more on this hen party quilt. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.